What is up? Welcome to... Wait, I didn't clap.
You didn't clap.
I need to clap. Wait for it. It was a weird sound, but it worked.
Now I'm gonna leave that in there. I'll leave the first intro.
No! This is episode 10 of Tyson and Teddy Talk, so we can't be leaving it and stuff like that, but maybe we will. I don't know. Hello, welcome. Hello. My name's Teddy. This is Tyson.
Hello.
It's the classic Saturday. Got some fucking coffee. We're out here, dude. Man, you gotta get on the coffee train, you know.
I had coffee.
Hanging.
I had coffee this morning, but
that's fair. That's fair. If we really wanted that for Tyson, we'd have to record in the morning, you know, and that's
true.
That's fair. I get it. Drink my coffee in the afternoon like a weirdo.
And you're just wired for the rest of the day.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of my point. I do it where like if I'm going to sleep late, I'll drink coffee in the afternoon. You know,
I do well.
It's like 4 o'clock.
I guess there's a lot of caffeine. I have a bottle of hydroxycut, and so I don't think those have like a ton of caffeine in.
I have no idea.
guess
that's a good question.
Yeah, they're. I think like I get like probably too much caffeine in.
Yeah, I really need to cut back. I have noticed that it's starting to affect me again, and I need to cut back on it. I drink about a cup and a half of coffee a day.
Yeah.
You know, I tried it like for a while. I was doing like a cup of coffee in the morning and then one later in the afternoon, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna. In the morning, I do like half a cup at least to like give me a start.
Oh yeah.
And then yeah. But
like when in the weekdays, I need coffee badly. Like
yeah.
I wake up, go to work. Well, like start work at 9. I don't technically like wake up until like 1. Like my brain doesn't wake up. It feels like until like 1, especially until I've had like coffee.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, I mean, I start work at noon these days, but ideally, see, this is the problem. Over the last week, like not this last week, but the week before that, I was I only worked out like half of that week, like the first half, and then I kind of stopped, and I just got like, I guess lazy where I didn't want to wake up in the morning and do it, and then one day I just got so fed up with myself of like, because my goal every day was wake up at 9 o'clock. Do your shit, like get moving, and it's not like I wasn't really getting much sleep, like I was getting enough sleep, but I was waking up and then just being like, but I'm so much more comfortable here. I'm just gonna let myself slowly wake up because I can, and then like at one point I think it was Wednesday, I just got fucking fed up with myself. I'm like, you stupid piece of crap, wake up tomorrow morning and work out, because every single time. I do. Like, for example, Thursday, I made myself Thursday morning wake up, like, go through my workout, and it was great. I had a much better mindset throughout the day. Like, I was much more positive naturally. I was much more motivated to do literally everything. Like, it fucking makes my day so much better. And I'm like, why do you not do this? And I actually like working out. So it's like, oh, I just gotta fucking motivate. If I just get out of the bed at 9 o'clock, then it's fine. That's all I gotta do is just make myself get out of bed. But I'm bad at that.
You put your alarm.
Very bad at that.
You put your alarm.
I do.
No, you put your alarm like out of reach.
I do. Trust me. I have dog. I'm so bad about getting up in the morning. Like, and I always have been. I've gone through phases where I've been better about it.
Maybe it's just different people, because like there's a couple people I know that are like that as well. But like, I don't know. I have as soon as like I'm awake. As soon as I'm awake, I'm out. I'm.
Oh, God, I wish that sounds awesome. Oh my God.
You just do it, and then you like. Obviously, I wasn't like this always, but like you do.
I need
it
to
once.
force myself enough to where it becomes habit. That's the key.
Yeah,
I just have to force myself to literally. I'm just gonna push myself out of the bed and just roll onto the ground. That's what I gotta do. I literally have 5 alarms, 9:02, set 2 minutes apart up until 10. That's 5 alarms here.
You just have one alarm, and then you hit snooze.
But it doesn't work.
What do you mean?
That's the problem.
They're 2 minutes apart.
Because I'm smart enough to where I wouldn't hit snooze, I would hit dismiss, so I was done. So, and I actually used to literally, if I had one alarm, I used to set it, and then I would turn it off in my sleep and literally not remember turning it off. I would wake up 2 hours later and be like, what the fuck?
Then you put it, that's why you put it like in another room.
I've still done that. I've still, not another room, but across the room. I've done it to where it was like, I literally had to go up, turn it off, and I would hop back and sleep, and I hop back in my bed to go to sleep, and I literally didn't remember that. Like, I didn't remember doing that, and I was like, what the fuck?
You also need different alarms.
Yep, like, they're all different sounds. Those 5s are all different sounds. Wait for it. What are they? These 4 are set from 9:03, 9:09, 9:13, 9:17. 2 of them require me to shake my phone. 2 of them require me to solve math problems.
Are they just annoying sounds?
No, they're fine.
Are they songs?
I've had that. I've done songs before. Honestly, songs are even worse because then I just sit there and listen to my playlist.
But no, the thing is you need the right song. Well, like, you're not going to get this reference, but people at home listening probably will. If you Google or if you look up the song One Winged Angel on Spotify or on any One Winged Angel, Jesus Christ. You listen to that in the morning.
It's 7 minutes long too.
But no, I just have the alarm set. Like, I've chopped it up, and it's mostly just the chorus.
My god!
Yeah.
I would hate to wake up to this.
No, man. No, because you know, like, if you played the game, you know, like, what that song is. You're like, it's Sephiroth, and you're just like,
yeah.
You're ready to
not
just,
having
like,
played the game. This just terrifies me.
Just like
I would wake up being like, what the fuck?
You're just like you're amped. I have that.
Yeah.
I think some days I have. What's it?
Do you ever have the Star Wars siren?
No, I have. Is it not Toxicity? Whatever the System of a Down song where it's like, wake up.
I was thinking Toxic.
Wake up. So I've got that. That's a good one. That's a really good one. And then I've got
that's fair. I could
Circle of Life.
Wake
the beginning.
Me up inside, save me.
No, not that
fucking Evanescence.
No, I've got Circle of Life from The Lion King. The very beginning. Because it's like, that's like sun is rising, and it's just like, it's a great song. I used to have Call Me Maybe, but that one never woke me up.
I still literally have, like I said, I have those 5 regular ones, I have those 4 special ones, and then I have a separate app that is set for usually like 9-10 that is 30 minutes of slow ramping up. That's what it's supposed to be. And then I have a physical alarm clock that is also set across the room. I have all of that.
You got too much shit.
Yeah, at this point I gotta fucking dial down.
You gotta. At
this point I went overboard.
You gotta.
Now
stop
my body's
depending
fighting
on all of the stuff, and just use the thing between your ears.
At this point, I just trained my body to fight it. That's all it did. Yeah, I made it get worse.
While you're conscious, you're like, okay, well, I'll make another app to like help out, and it's like, no, you don't need any apps. People woke up just fine without apps 20 years ago. We did. It was great. Just force yourself once, and then you'll see how much more you get done, and you'll be like, oh, wow.
Well, that's the thing. I know, like I said, when I wake up with enough time to actually go through my routine and get my workout done and shit, it's great. I have a great day. It's fine. But so that's why I get so mad at myself when I don't do that, because I know that it's like, why are you doing this? You're going to have a much better day if you don't. But it's not, I don't know why it's not that easy. I wish I don't know. I wish it was. But I need to just literally
I just don't like
force
sleep.
myself at 9 a.m.
Like, I don't like
to just
sleep.
Oh, see, I don't know. It depends. I used to really like it when I was younger. Like, I would be the person to just sleep in all the time. But
I have a friend that's
not like that.
I remember when we were younger, and like we would have sleepovers in like middle school, and it would be like 7 a.m, and then I wake up and I'm like, yeah, let's go. And my friend's just like out cold, and I'm like, dude, like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
So I've like always been like this. I've always like.
That's always funny to think about, because that was a thing with each like kid. Whenever you did a sleepover, like all of them did have their own specific like
my friend would
routines and sleeping patterns.
Even when we were like older and we would get drunk and then like wake up the next morning and like would have a hangover, what they would want to do is just like sit in front of the TV and like pretty much even like have a nap throughout the whole day. And I'm like, okay, let's go. It's like I'm hungover, but let's go get some greasy food, and then we're gonna like we'll go for a walk to like make us feel better, and then we can like come back. But they're just like, okay, well, maybe like 10 minutes, and then, oh no, 30 minutes, and then now they're passed out again, and I'm just like sitting there, and I'm like, oh my god, we're wasting the day. And I think I have my mom to blame. I think I blame my mom for that, not like in a bad way, because I like it. I like the fact that like.
No, I mean that's good, and the problem is I'm somewhere in between where naturally I do a lot of the time just like in the morning when that happens, I don't want to do anything but just lay there. Like I can't fucking do it. But then later I fucking know that I should have and I want to, and when I do manage to do it, I'm like, oh, it's so much better. So it's like I'm definitely in between where I prefer the way that you do it, but it definitely does not naturally, that's not how it goes. I just
it's like anything though. It's just like it's just repetition until
that's the thing. I just have to make myself do it, and like enough times to where it's just a habit and it'll be fine. But I also need to fucking like, the fact of the matter is, I've done that before to where it was a habit. Like, I've gotten into that habit before. I'm just out of it right now, you know? So, it's just just gotta fucking make myself. That's all. That's all. Also, random thing, but I didn't get to start the episode with it, so I'm bringing it up now. Have you seen this video of these fucking penguins?
I have not.
No? Okay, I'm sending it to you. That's all. Just penguins are great. You know what I mean?
Penguins are pretty good.
Penguins are so cool. I'm realizing how much I actually really love animals, you know?
They can't fly,
because they're so weird. They're so weird. They can't, no. But they can swim, but they're like birds that can swim.
But ducks can swim.
That walk like humans. Yeah, that's true. Like ducks and swans and shit. Pigeons, I guess. But even then, they don't like fucking... You know, dive,
ducks do,
right? Do they?
Well, how do they? That's how they eat.
Do they? How do ducks eat? I don't know what the fuck a duck eats other than bread. You know?
No, you don't want to.
I literally have no clue.
I don't know if you want to give. Well, I guess you don't want to give them.
You're probably not supposed to, but all I know
is
that people
like sodium. I know that's bad.
Yeah. All I know is that people, you know, they go to parks and they take little pieces of bread and rip them up and toss them to ducks, and they'll come up and be like, oh, oh. I don't know if you're supposed to.
No, because that's not their. It's not like their regular diet. It's like you're not really supposed to give, like house animals stuff like human food, which is weird when you think about it. It's like, well,
depends though.
They eat such crazy things, and their stomachs are probably less sensitive than ours.
Oh yeah, dog stomachs are honestly quite resilient, but they're definitely more they're more weirded out by other things. Like apparently, if dogs like way more dangerous than like chocolate, if a dog eats a grape, like honestly 2 or 3 grapes, they'll just fucking die. Like
it's so weird.
Like grapes are really bad. Yeah, I know. It's like grapes and onions are really bad for dogs, but then
life on Earth is weird because it's like
yeah, it's true, man.
We're so like we think that we're so like we're obviously self-aware, so we're smarter, but like the stuff that we eat.
But how do we know they're not self-aware either? You know what I mean? We just can't talk to them.
They're not self-aware.
But we don't know that.
No, are you kidding me?
But
we're self-aware. I don't think any animal is could be I think the closest things are are like whales and dolphins.
Yeah. But like, how do we know that if we can't study like their communication? You know what I mean? You ever think about that? Like, what if an animal is living their own lives and they can talk to each other, And it really is like a fucking animated movie where they're just talking, but we just don't get them.
They
so
talk
what
to
if
each
they
other.
are?
Yes, they're not self-aware.
Yeah.
They're not self-aware like we're self-aware, like how we are in this world, in this universe. Do you think an animal knows that they're on a planet?
I mean, no, they're not.
No.
They're not that. No.
They don't know that they're
not
other
that
planets.
Level.
They don't know that that the stars in the sky are other suns.
Don't be dissing space penguins.
I'm just saying that like animals, yes, they talk to each other, but that's like kind of where it ends.
It's a very different level of self-awareness. But what I'm saying is I feel like it's very possible that animals have a level of self-awareness that we don't know because we don't.
No.
I don't know, because we're not them.
They're not like, hey, I'm a cat. I have 4 legs. They don't.
Fair.
They don't. They're just like. They're.
But they're
food.
like, hey, I'm this thing, and they made up their own name for it. But you know what I mean? Who's to say that cat is the correct name? Maybe they have their own name.
No.
Also, yeah, just penguins are great. Look at that video. I don't even have to listen to it, but just look at them.
I'm recording.
Oh, you're recording, yeah.
I'll look at it later.
They're penguins.
But it's like I know penguins.
They're penguins getting weighed at a zoo.
Or as Benedict Cumberbatch says, what is it?
Penguins.
Penguins.
Yeah.
Oh, Benedict.
Oh, Benedict. But they're just so cute. Like, animals are so weird, man. Like, the more I think about it throughout life, you know, when you're a kid, you're just like, oh, this animal is so cool. But, like, as I get older, I'm just like, what the fuck is this thing? You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like looking way too deep into animals where I'm looking at an animal and I'm like, what the fuck? But I guess it's just because, you know, I'm not around a jaguar. When the fuck was the last time? Like, whenever somebody, the weirdest thing and the coolest thing is when somebody like Dragons from Australia will be like, hey, you ever heard of a quokka? And I look it up. Like, I'm going to look it up right now so I can have the image in front of me. I don't know how to spell it. Oh, there it is. And it's this whole fucking animal that, like, I didn't know existed. You know what I mean? That's what's weird to me is when I'll find these new, really cool animals that I'm like, I didn't know you were a thing. And you're like this weird little chubby cheeked.
Well, like, it's kind of impossible. Dude. I think it's kind of impossible to know every single animal on the planet.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's
there's literally things in the ocean that are like,
oh god, yeah. The ocean, dude.
Yeah.
The ocean's terrifying.
But that's the thing. Like, there's weird things in there too.
Oh god, yeah. No, the ocean.
Atoms. It's just all atoms. They're all just, and they just have joined together and made something weird. And that's pretty much it. That's life on planets. I don't want to say life on Earth because obviously there is other life on other planets. No, it is like, I want to say mathematically impossible.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's sentient life. I'm saying there's life on other planets. Could be like, what is it, microscopic? Could be anything like that. But like, I don't know about sentient. I obviously don't think that aliens have visited this planet.
Hey man, you don't know?
No, it doesn't. No, how? And our squishy little body. They flew across the galaxy, right? Hypothetical.
They were cloaked the entire time.
No, I'm saying like.
I mean, in all reality, there's literally no way to know any of that because like I always think it's funny how
if there's like with Area 51 and like, oh yes, they've captured aliens, and I'm like, no, that is impossible because the technology that these aliens would have had to have to make it over here more advanced than us,
exactly.
And it was somehow humans captured them, and they don't have like they don't have people back at their home base being like, hey, where's Paul? And it's like, oh, he went to Earth. And it's like, he hasn't been back in a long time. It's like, maybe we should go check on him.
Lost another one. Oh, that damn Paul always getting himself into trouble. Fucking, like, the thing with aliens is how everyone talks about aliens and how, like, sci-fi depicts them is that they're going to be, like, this weird form of, like, what we're familiar with. But, like...
Oh, they're always, like, bipedal.
Yeah, and the thing that's always odd to me is like, and that somebody pointed out is like, yeah, aliens could absolutely exist, but like, the universe and fucking science and shit is so fucking weird that like they could be something that we just physically cannot imagine because we only imagine basically what we've seen in a way. Like everything that our brain is able to imagine or create is a version of something else in some way or another. Like so like it could totally be just this thing that is not physically like right now at the moment capable for us to imagine. Well, it's like, and that's something that's wild to me.
That movie,
it makes sense.
Arrive with
I don't
Hawkeye.
Know, I think there's one called Arrival.
Yeah, Arrival.
I've never seen it, but I've heard good things.
Oh man, that is probably one of one of my top alien movies of all time. Because it is like exactly like what you're saying. Like they're these creatures, and then they get like a linguist. I think that's what Amy Adams is. She's like, she studies language, and so they're like trying to talk to these aliens, and the aliens like speak in like ink swirls or some shit like that, and it's like and I'm like, that is so much better than like an alien speaking with a mouth, even if it's like a different language, and then it's like
Doctor Who aliens is always so like, all right, you know, like they go to another planet and they're just like blue.
Different color, but they have 5 fingers and 5 toes, and they just have a big brain, and that's about it. And
it's weird.
Watch Arrival.
And that's just most likely not going to be what aliens are. No. Arrival and Gravity, which I know are both not like the same thing or anything, but for some weird reason, I always put them in the same kind of category of like, oh, those are alien/space movies that I want to see one day that I've heard are good, and I've never seen either of them.
Gravity's okay. I wouldn't say it's. You could put that on the back burner for a long time.
Really, I've heard it was. I heard it was good.
Okay. You know what's a good one? Oh, it's with Ryan Reynolds and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh wow, yeah. Both of these have really good scores.
What is that movie? Now we're just looking up.
Gravity actually has a 95 on Rotten Tomatoes, and
it's good, but it's like it's kind of boring. It's like
that's fair. There's a lot of movies like that.
Ryan
Reynolds.
That's how you spell his name.
It's fair. You're right.
What is this movie called? This movie is called. Jeez, he's done a lot of stuff. Deadpool 2. Life. Man, that's an easy. Have you ever heard of Life?
I haven't. I haven't heard of that one.
It's a very alien-esque movie. So like, very like the actual franchise Alien, not like Alien the thing. It's like Alien.
So how spooky is it?
It's pretty spooky. Like it's not like horror.
That's why I.
No, it's not like horror spooky. It's more like thriller spooky.
Interesting.
But it's like it all takes place in space, and it's really really good. Really.
Also,
really
I will say I'm on IMDb right now looking at it, and the banner ad is for a Snoopy television show. And what the fuck? I would so watch that, but it's on Apple TV exclusively. 6 out of 10.
That's weird.
Yeah,
it's good.
It came out in 2017.
Jake Gyllenhaal, Ryan Reynolds, Rebecca Ferguson.
Jake Gyllenhaal, our Prince of Persia. You know.
That's what we're going with.
Yes, it
is. He's Mysterio.
So, like, how can I watch a Snoopy TV show? That's what I need to learn right now.
Nobody should tell you.
It's on Apple TV Plus. God. I'm not gonna ever do that. No. But this is literally like the closest I've ever come to considering Apple TV Plus. I fucking forgot that was a thing that exists. Yeah, I really like Peanuts.
Wow, that's weird. That's like so weird because like that's not even your generation. And
no, well,
it's my generation, And it's like, and I don't even like it that much.
My dad had a comic, like he kept a box of like old Peanuts comic books that were literal like books, and I spent a good like year of my childhood at one point just reading through all of those, and I don't know why I really liked it. But this looks really cute. This is great. But I'll just find a way. We don't have to talk about it. Tyson.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
I might have an answer.
I don't think you will.
Is it how can I watch The Matrix? Or any
I'll tell you right
movie.
now. No. It's when is this Stardew Valley MMO coming out? And
you
is
mean
it
the update for
Stardew Valley?
For Final Fantasy 14
Yes.
Walker?
Yes, that has apparently something called the Island Sanctuary where you like raise animals and make a farm.
So that's 6.0. So that's when Endwalker releases, which is fall 2021.
Here's my question. Have they talked about it? Because when I actually tried looking it up,
they didn't show any video. They just showed that picture and then they talked about it.
Did they talk about it more than like a couple sentences? Because I literally only found like a couple sentences.
Not too much. Yeah, it was briefly just touched upon. They just said that like, people who want to have like the slow life, they would like, you can like raise animals, you can like have a farm, you can have, and then you don't need to be like a crafter or a gatherer to opt into this. You can just like
fuck me.
Yeah. And so I don't like obviously if we're getting into this, I don't know, like there's going to be more information in April. That's when 5.5 comes out, and I think that they talked about one new class that we're getting in Endwalker, and they're going to be talking about another new class, so we're getting 2 new classes. They're probably going to touch on it again.
I already know this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found an article on PCGamesN.com that says Final Fantasy 14 is getting Stardew Valley mode. And it says, the next Final Fantasy 14 expansion, Endwalker, finishes what a Realm Reborn started. Among all the notable additions and gameplay elements coming to the MMORPG game, one really stands out, a Stardew Valley-like side quest called Island Sanctuary. So, like, that's
my quest.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I don't know if I don't. Well, again, I haven't played Stardew Valley, and like I still think. Well, I don't know. Can you like raise animals?
Hell yeah.
Stardew Valley. So then maybe, but I don't know. I guess it's hard to like because when I think of Stardew Valley, I just think of that aesthetic because it's like
so sad because I love that game so much.
But I don't know. I think that like it's gonna be more. Just like you get an island and you can do what you want with it.
The quote says, live off the land, raise animals, and cultivate the earth, all while soaking in the sights of this beautiful paradise, reads one description on the official PlayStation blog. So that's all we have.
I've been fully converted. Like just a couple of months ago, I was a non-believer. And then I'm full Stan Lee, and I'm a true believer in like this whole world, especially how they talk about the story and how like they actually had they're like Endwalker is a conclusion to this like 10-year story. But then they're like, "Oh, but that's not the end. It's the end of this story." Between Heidelin and Zodiark, you'll learn about those two. But then like after Endwalker is over, then there will be new stories. And it's just like, man. Like I have never cared about an MMO like this, like ever. And I played WoW for like a couple of years, like a long time ago. But like,
you know,
the level of like polish, the level of just care that they like put into this and the level of hype that like, and just I I don't know. Like when they like bring the CEO out, and he's like, "Oh yes, and we're gonna talk about that it's on PS5, so there's gonna be a PS5 beta." And then they're like, "Oh yeah, and it's the same day as the new patch goes live." And they're like, "Oh well," and they like do this whole thing where they're like, "Oh, we didn't want to say that the new patch." So it's like the CEO of Square Enix like leaked that the new patch is going to be released in April. And it's like obviously, leaked, yeah, it's leaked, but it's like they have this like funny way of doing things, and yeah, I don't know. I just love it.
Yeah. The problem is that I don't think I've ever once been a non-believer. Even back when it wasn't as popular as it is. It's like with Game of Thrones where I stayed away from that show for a long time, even though this was before the last season came out. Even though I heard from everyone that it's incredible, I know that everybody loves it, and I knew that I was gonna like it. I just was afraid that if I got into it, I would get so far into it that I'd be like obsessed, and I would immediately be like, fuck, now I have to read all the books because I really like this, and then all this shit. So like 14 is the same way where I'm like, I know this is going to be amazing. I know. But like, it's one of those things where for some weird reason, I just never wanted, or not never wanted, because I did give it a shot, but that was a long time ago. It was just like, I know it's there, and I know it's probably really good. It's just like saving it for a rainy day, kind of. Like one day, it'll be my time, and I'll be in there. Just like how like I knew The Boys was coming out with like a season 2 by the time, and I had heard people talk about it for like a year, and I knew that I was gonna really like The Boys, and I was like, you know what? Season 2's coming out in 2 weeks. I just finished the show. I got perfect time. Let's fucking watch this shit, and it was great. And I was like, this is awesome.
But then you got to watch season 2 while it got released.
Yeah. So it's like every now and then there are just things like that where I know I'm gonna like it. It looks exactly like my type of thing, but you just don't have all the time in the world. So it was like sometimes you just set those aside for a rainy day. I guess 14. I mean, I've tried literally like any of the popular MMOs except for that one when it comes to trying it like modern day. Yeah. So like. We were talking about The Expanse in Discord, like not like just very loosely, because I think Stealth finished the current season and he's like, oh, it's like so good, and there's gonna be one more season after, and then Devin was like, oh, do I binge or do I watch it now or then like wait the year so that I can watch the whole thing at once? And I'm like, what if something happens in the year? Like, what if something happens to you? Yeah.
Like this past year especially, I'm like, you know what? If you want to do something, if you want to try something, if you want to learn something, if you want to watch something, do it now. Because we don't know how much time we got left on this earth.
And that's fair. That's fair. But also, like, you don't have all the time in the world. Like, I'm having fun playing the games that I'm playing at the moment. And it's like, I don't really have time for an MMO, but at some point I will. You know what I mean? It's dependent. It's like, I definitely want to play that. And there are all sorts of things that I want to play and watch and read and shit, but like, just don't have the time.
Like you could do the free account, play like 2 missions, that's probably like maybe a half an hour. Probably even less. Do like a little bit of grinding and then hop out. And it's not like you don't have to pay anything. You can play 2 expansions.
Well, that's why I have it downloaded.
2 expansions, and then you just chip away at it.
Yeah.
You don't have to like go crazy.
The problem is if I ever do that, I'm not going to tell people that I'm doing that, because then everyone's going to be like, well, where are you? Have you hit this part of the thing yet? We've gotten to this story and all this. But also, that's another thing. I have a question about the game, because
the whole point is like to play together. So
yeah, but that's the thing. If I were to do that, I would jump in and just play that game and I would try and binge it hard. But I can't do that. So I would have to chip away at it. So it's like when I'm chipping away at it, I don't want people like kind of when you're doing it at your own pace, And like, I do get that people want to play with you, and of course, like, I would still want to play with them too. But like, if I'm not ready, I feel like it's like pressure. They're like, come on, do the thing, and I'm like, but I don't.
No, but like, there are other like that we have. I'm not saying to like hurry up to like the end level content, but I'm saying like when you're doing like say your level 10 duties, like I have level 10s that I'm not touching, that I'm like, oh, I could, instead of you like waiting for a random group, it's like, okay, I'll jump on my other job and we can run through
Maybe
this.
it's just pressure that I'm putting on myself.
Yeah, because I don't think like
that's probably not what people mean by it, but it's usually what I take out of it.
No, like the thing,
like, where are you? You got into the dungeon yet? I'm like, no. And I get that they're like, excited.
Again,
they're excited and they want me to experience it, and I get it. But to me, that just feels like pressure of like, hurry up, get to the thing, and I'm like, ah. But I'll get like, to it on my own time.
But again, like, so this, like, that's happened to me. Like, Future's like, Tyson, like, why aren't you playing like main story quests? And I'm like, because I'm crafting, and I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'm doing what I want.
Yeah, but I don't want to.
And then I take and then now I'm taking a break from crafting and going back to main story quests.
And that's what I would do. I would play it like you.
Yeah. No, you won't play it like me.
No, I would play it like you in the sense of I'll just do whatever whenever I want. But like, I wouldn't. I just feel bad giving people that answer because
why?
I feel like. I don't know.
You gotta just stop feeling bad about everybody else.
Yeah.
Because like no matter what, we're still gonna be like the thing is if we get somebody else to play the game, it's like, yes, we want you to do the content with us like at the end level. Obviously, we know that situations are different, so you're not gonna be grinding the game.
But the problem is I genuinely don't think that everyone knows that. Like, as somebody who has. Yeah, but even then, like, I've honestly had friends that are, like, immature enough that, like, when I tell them, they don't really get it. And, like, continue to, like, try and pressure and push and stuff. I feel like most of them have gotten better about that over time, but
the only thing that we push is that we just want you to play the game. We don't say, like, oh, hey, you're gonna play the game, and then you're just gonna breeze through A Realm Reborn. And then you're gonna. I mean, it's like no. It's gonna be a slog.
I've had people be like, "You gotta get to like fucking when you gonna get to the level 60 fucking rate?" And I'm like, "Dog, I just downloaded the game. I don't even know if I want to play."
No, like, but like, see, you're not talking to the right people.
Yeah,
because like everybody that we're like when it's like Future and JJ and Jay, and like all of us are talking, and like we're trying to get Stealth and Amanda to play. We preface it with like, okay, A Realm Reborn, it's gonna suck for a big part of it. We'll still be here. Like, if you guys need help with questing, we can take you through stuff. But it's just like, you really do have to trust us when we say that when you get to Heaven's Ward, you'll be like, oh my god, I see what they were talking about. Because that's exactly what happened to me. Is that like Future was always like, Tyson, the game. It's so good. And I'm like, I guess, I don't know. Like, I think it's fine, but I don't know. And then I like pushed through, got to Heaven's Ward, and now I'm like, holy shit, like he was 100% right.
That's so weird, though.
It is so weird. Like, coming from both sides, it is so weird. But you just see the story and the world just like open up.
Okay, this is my question, right? As somebody who, and I think I know the answer. It's just so weird that like when people do push that game, they mention and really stress about how the story is so incredible. But like as somebody who doesn't give a shit about stories in an MMO, I care about like the world and the overarching kind of story, but I am definitely not playing an MMO for the story. I don't think I've literally ever done that. I mean, ESO maybe I've done that because I like the side quests in there, kind of fun, and I do sort of pay attention to those. But like most of the time, I do not care. I do not read text. I just fucking go because the MMO is just it's a grindy thing to check boxes and keep moving through a cool zone and use a cool combat and upgrade your character. Like that is absolutely what I care about way more. Like is that still there to where it's still very much an MMO and grindy and like but I don't know. The story
you've said like
puts
okay
me
like
off
you,
in a weird way.
Because
again, I don't come to an MMO for that. I don't care.
So here's
I feel like that would get in the way.
Here's the thing, though. You get all of the MMO. You get so much MMO stuff that you won't know what to do with. But then on top, you get an amazing story, a story that will make you care about characters.
But like, does it not? It doesn't get in the way. Like,
how does it get? I don't know.
Because I've played because my thing is like I have played MMOs that are MMOs are a weird thing where like World of Warcraft for me absolutely is the perfect like I'm gonna get a sub for a month and I will have a game to play while I throw a Twitch stream on the other side and just quest through a zone and fucking do all that and like barely pay attention to what the fuck's going on. And just like I'm checking boxes, I'm moving through a zone. This is fun and satisfying. And then there's like ESO, where you can still kind of do that, but you do kind of got to pay attention to what's going on in the side quests because there is actually kind of a story in each one. And then there's SWTOR, where you play that, you come talk to a character, you turn everything off, and you listen. Because it's voice acted, and there's dialogue trees, and you're like, okay, well, this is actually a story, and you kind of have to play it like a single-player thing at certain points, but not the whole point. But, like, so each MMO has this weird mix of, like, how much you need to. But in SWTOR, for example, I think that kind of gets in the way of the, like, theme park design of that game. It's not fully like World of Warcraft in that sort of aspect. Does that make sense with how I'm saying, like, does it get in the way?
Like, what I've kind of come to think of it is it's a single player Final Fantasy game, story-wise. Like, the level of story is like top tier Final Fantasy. Then you also have all of this MMO stuff, all of this stuff that you can play with your friends. You can craft, you can gather stuff, you can fish, you could cook, you could do all of this, all of the MMO stuff. But the story, like you want to progress the story. You want to see what happens with these characters. You start getting invested with these characters. Because I don't know how else. And but again, this is coming from somebody who has played like all the Final Fantasies, and like story to me is like the almost important thing in a game.
Oh God. See that. Oh, it's the doggo. I just looked out my window. Like that's fair, but like I come to different games for different things, and I mean you can skip everything.
I think you are shooting yourself in the foot when you do. Like
I wouldn't want to
everything, and we're just like there's so much good. Like, and it's not just like we think it's good. Like it is like great storytelling,
and that's cool. I just like there's a weird. Like, am I going to be missing it if I put on a fucking podcast while I'm questing? Am I going to be missing the story? Or, like...
It depends on what you're... That's the thing. It's like, it depends on what you're doing. If you're just doing main story quests. But if you're, like, I don't know, like... There's a lot to do. It's, like, it's an MMO. So there's many things you can do. I put on Twitch streams when I'm, like, gathering and crafting. But it's like weird. If I want to do a main story...
The answer sounds like yes, which is okay, I guess. It's just good to be aware of. So I will be aware of that. But that honestly, puts me off more than anything.
That's so weird. It's like if you want to have your sundae, your ice cream sundae of an MMO, and then you get all of these toppings, which is the story. You just want to have a plain sundae. You don't want all of these toppings that is amazing. Not just
I get that it's amazing, but it would be like putting it's a weird example, but it would be like for me putting like great toppings, so like great food, but food that does not belong on a sundae. Like a piece of bacon. Like,
have you ever had a bacon donut?
I have. Those are good.
So
those are good.
Go.
That's right. Oh shit. And then it's food that. So in your analogy, it's food that you think would be weird on a Sunday, but then you try it and you're like, oh, it's not bad.
Well, it's just like you go through the story and like you go like, I'm telling you, when you go through A Realm Reborn, skip all of that shit. Skip it all.
Yeah.
You'll recognize characters. You'll know their names. Then like nearing the end, there'll be like some missions where you'll start to care about them, and then you'll start to care about like what happens to them. And then if you don't care about the story, then you can stop playing forever. But I can guarantee that you will, because there was a cutscene, and this is one thing that I don't know, I'm kind of 50-50 on, is that there's a cutscene and it warns you. It's like, hey, this next cutscene's kind of long, so like set aside some time. And it's like a 45-minute cutscene.
Yeah, this is what started this. Like my friend told me about that, and that immediately was like, that's not a good thing for me in an MMO. Like I'm sure it's good and
one,
like,
and it is a cutscene where you're like, oh my god, no, like
watch
legit,
the video version.
Legit, you're like, holy, they did that. And then it just keeps going, and then it keeps going. You're like, how does the story continue? I mean, it is so good. It's like, yes, you just set aside some time. Also, you can skip that cutscene, and you can watch everything later.
But don't.
Well, no, like I mean, like you'll be like, well, what happened to everybody?
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, yeah, it does it so well that you like care about what is going on in the world. And then you have all of that MMO stuff. Like you have all of your stats, all of your crafting, it has all of that stuff. It has the side quests, it has beast tribes, it has flying, it has different mounts. It's just like, it literally is just like, hey, you want an amazing MMO? Here's Final Fantasy. Oh, and then here, you get an amazing story as well.
Maybe at this point, I just need to play it based solely on people's recommendations and not think too much about it.
Yeah, I think you're overthinking it just a little too much.
Who would have ever guessed that I would do something along those lines?
You just have to go through it, and then like we'll help you along the way, so that you don't have to wait too long. Because that's one thing that is also a deterrent, is like queuing for dungeons. Like it takes, especially those low level ones, like it's not great, but there's enough of us that will be like, yeah, we'll jump on alts or different jobs and then help out. I'm loving this game, and it is the perfect supplementary game when Destiny has its downtime, which is like a lot of the time. Which is sad.
New stuff on Tuesday, apparently.
New stuff on Tuesday. Honestly, I'm gonna grind it 2 weeks. Get everything
First time like a targeted Instagram. That's not true. Targeted Instagram ads actually work for me a lot of times. But first time in a while that it's worked, where there was an ad literally for the new season. It was like 10 seconds, and they were like, "Here's this, and this," and I was like, "Oh, I didn't really know all that was shit." Okay, maybe I will hop in.
Well, we get 3 new strikes.
Don't remember. It said that there was a classic strike coming back, which immediately made me be like, yeah.
We get Sepix, and we get the Fallen Saber. Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be
fucking
fun.
Sepix is this season?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's the first strike.
I know, it's the beta strike.
It's gonna be so cool.
You don't know how many memories I have sitting back there on a pipe, plinking away with Icebreaker.
That, and then
waiting for 6
Fallen
seconds.
Saber, when it's like, oh, you have to protect the war set at the very beginning of that strike.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, when that was a Nightfall, it was murder. It was so bad, but like that's gonna be so much fun now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we get one new one, so that's kind of cool.
Shit. It was that, and then they also mentioned like the new seasonal activity. It said something about like a combat arena, and I'm like, oh,
yeah, it's like a battleground. They haven't really.
Yeah, it said something like that. It said battleground, and I was like, honestly, that sounds intriguing. So
well, like I'm kind of, I don't know. The story might be falling a little flat, at least for me. We'll see if
never cared.
This well, it's just like, oh, hey,
example
here, like they have like Keitel, so like Callus's daughter comes to Zavala and they're like, hey, we need to like join together to fight the Hive. Yes, I'm pretty sure it's the Hive.
Sure.
But then she's like, bow, and then Zavala's like, no. This is all in the trailer, and then so this season we're just fighting each other, and I'm like, oh wait, what? Like, she tried to be like, hey, we need to work together, and then Zavala's just like, Zavala's just like, no, and I'm like, Zavala, you could have, man, we need to get Zavala out.
Wow, damn,
he's just too.
He's a boomer.
He is a boomer. He's just too.
We need a fucking zoomer in there.
No, but it's like, it's so weird.
Kid comes up with a Monster Energy drink.
We need like the darkness 3.
What's up, kids? I'm the new Vanguard.
Well, no, we have
the Titan Vanguard.
We have the 3 Vanguard. We have Eris.
Whatever happened to what's the third one?
Drifter.
Oh.
Like those are the ones who like mess with the darkness the most.
Yeah. Did they ever replace the Hunter? Is the Stranger now like the Hunter Vanguard? I don't know.
No,
what happened there?
No, I don't know. It would be Crow.
Is he actually now?
Well, he's in the trailer and he has a new outfit and he's with Zavala.
I just know for a long time, like literally since Forsaken, everybody's like, I kept expecting them to do it to like replace the Hunter Vanguard. Like at one point they had a new Hunter dude basically like being like, hey, I'm taking Gate's place for the moment or something, like temporary. I can't remember he had a name.
That was
like Shiro. No, not him. It was a dude. It was a specific. It was a
You mean Han?
It was a robot. Yeah, no, not him. He's the new guy on the Cosmodrome. This guy was like, he was a robot. He was an Exo. He was like another Exo for like
Destiny
one
2?
of these. It might have been Destiny 1 now that I'm thinking about it.
So then how does that make
No, but that wouldn't make any sense. Who the fuck? I'm looking up who Shiro even was because I don't think this is who I was. No, this is not who I was thinking of. This is not who I was thinking of. I don't know, but I remember in
that was in Destiny 1 though.
Yeah, and he's not who I was thinking. Yeah. There was one moment after Forsaken where on like one of our destinations there was an Exo being like, I'm the temporary Hunter Vanguard or something like that. Or
I don't know if that's true.
Maybe it wasn't that. Maybe he was just like giving. I know he had bounties. There was an Exo after Cade died that had bounties, and everybody was like, "Oh, is he gonna be the new Hunter Vanguard?" And then he never came back again. And it was like, "Oh, all right." So
when?
I don't know. I swear he
was there was the Callus robots that were on Nessus that had bounties.
No, that was before that. Like it might actually literally be in Forsaken because Cade dies at the beginning.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think what planet he was on. He was on a planet. He wasn't in the tower.
I don't think there was.
If anyone remembers who's watching this, confirm to me that I'm not crazy.
I think you're crazy.
I swear to God, I'm not crazy.
There was nothing.
The point is that people were thinking they were going to replace the Hunter Vanguard, and it's literally been 3 years.
But they're
just like,
in the lore, like the person who kills the Hunter Vanguard is the one who takes his place.
Oh, really? What?
That was always So that's why.
Well, I don't know lore. I literally have never known lore, never touched lore. But that's interesting and also weird because
and so that's why but then he dies. But then that's the thing. It's like Aldrin dies, and we're like, oh, okay. So then, what are they gonna do with the Vanguard?
But also, how would that work in like Zavala and Yeah, but like Zavala and Ikora were like, we gotta fucking get revenge for our fallen friend. Why would they then be like, all right, you're the Hunter Vanguard, you got him?
Well, because he's not Aldrin.
Yeah, I know. I'm just talking about like in the situation where Aldrin lived and they had to like let Aldrin in and be the Vanguard. You know what I mean? Like imagine that. I don't know how that would have worked. Because they were Zavala at least was gung ho for like revenge at the time.
Was he or no? I thought Ikora.
I think it actually might have been Ikora. One of them was more like, we gotta fucking avenge Cade, and the other one was like, we gotta take this cautiously. So yeah, it was probably Zavala.
But that's the thing. So I don't know if you want me to spoil some of the stuff from this season.
Go for it.
So like that like
honestly, I prefer
Spider like put a bomb on Crow.
Yeah,
that was like at the very beginning of the season. So like you do a mission.
Actually, I didn't know that, but sure.
That was in a cutscene at the beginning of the season. That was like the very first mission. He's like, oh yes, I've got this detonator here, and if the Crow steps out of line, I will blow him up. And so
Suicide Squad, Amanda Waller.
Yeah. So
hit movie.
You take down Zivu Arath, which is like the hive god. And then Spider's like, you can have anything in this room. And Crow's standing beside you. And then you're like, I want him. And then
what?
Yeah. And then I forget how, but then pretty much they're like, yep. He takes the detonator off, and then you're walking with Crow, and he says something, and then you say something about like you're a guardian now or something like that. So that's how like the season. That's how the Crow ends the season. He is now a guardian, and so he's got some new digs on. He's standing beside Zavala. I'm thinking that he's the new Hunter Vanguard, and yeah.
Again, every time somebody tells me what's been going on with the season,
so much, you play games.
Well, I don't. That's the thing.
No, but like, don't you? I thought you love like good stories.
No, I do.
Like you love like Avatar. It's like a good story. Or do you just watch it for the pretty pictures?
Well, here's the thing when it comes to video games and story. I love a good story in a video game. The Last of Us is like one of my favorite games of all time because of the story. Like, it's a thing, but like when it comes to certain games, Destiny as an example, Destiny for a long time, for the majority of the time when I played it and when I was really into it, had a garbage story in the universe in the game. They had the Grimoire cards.
Yeah.
And people were really into the Grimoire cards, but I wasn't, because you had to watch fucking Bife videos to understand what the fuck was going on, and whenever I tried to watch a Bife video, it's very deep, weird, high fantasy sci-fi. Like, very odd. So, and that's just not necessarily my thing. So, like, I kind of ended up then just, because the majority of the time when I played the game, the story was just not told in game, to be honest. Like, sure. I just kind of discounted it to where I'm just like, nope, I love Destiny and I'm playing it, but like, I'm just not gonna pay attention to that, you know? And now that it kind of is in the game, and they are like that right there, you tell like kind of the story of what happened in the season. Whenever somebody tells me of that about a season that I didn't really play, I'm like, that's really cool. That's really cool that they tell that shit in the game, and I wish I was playing that, but I didn't. You know, but that's cool.
Crow
that's
has
awesome.
some good voiceover lines in that mission, and I just loved. Like, I think I started really loving the story of Destiny with probably Forsaken, but like when they talk about how Savathun, a character that we really know nothing about, somehow, like with the whole 3-week cycle of the Dreaming City, she becomes more powerful. Like, she's got this murder battery that like we kill Riven every 3 weeks.
Old murder battery.
That's in again, it's in the lore. But like,
I'm sure it is.
So like, I think like that's like Riven's last wish. That's why it's called the Last Wish. is to
They said the name.
To have like sort of this 3-week cycle, so then Savathun always becomes more powerful and all of this stuff. And it's like, do I wish that Destiny could tell it a little bit better? Obviously. Do I wish it could be a little bit faster? Yes. But like there is like just so much
this point,
cool stuff there.
Yeah, and at this point it's wildly, massively like better than what it was when I played. So it's just like,
and like I'm still hopeful that like this fall is gonna have a pretty good conclusion to like Savathun and that and the darkness, and I don't know. I just again
that's
love
cool,
space.
but that then the weird thing is like they do tell better stories in the game, but even then it went from like the people who are into the story lore wise, like they more merged like grimoire and lore kind of into the game. Like they did kind of take that and push it into the game, which is cool, but like I wanted them to do more of a, I don't know, Taken King is very simple. It was like you killed Crota, the dad's back and he's mad. You know what I mean? There, a lot of the stuff is like
so you like the most vanilla story.
I need a jumping on point, and I was not there for the jumping on point. If that makes sense, like the lore and the grimoire of Destiny and of like Savathun was
but it's there with Oryx. It was always there with Oryx.
Sure, that's the point. But like when. Now Savathun's the big baddie and whatnot, and like the pyramid ships and all that. I mean, I will say it's very cool to see them finally like tying up shit that like even I am familiar with from D1. Like that's fucking dope. But like there's a lot of it, Savathun being one of it, where my friend's like, "Oh, you don't know that Savathun did this and had this daughter and this blah blah blah, and we did," and I'm like, "No." I had no fucking idea, because like that's in the fucking, that's in the lore that they then pushed, which is fine, and that's cool, and I'm honestly really happy for the people who followed that shit, and now it's like there, but I didn't, so like, to me, it's all I really know is that Savathun, I know a little bit about Savathun, and now that they're like the threat and whatnot, and that's cool. I guess that's all I really need to know, but it is interesting that, I don't know. I feel like people expect me to know more because I should have been like following the lore for all these years, but it's like wasn't.
It's like when you like something, like see with WandaVision. When we'll talk about WandaVision in a little bit, but it's like with WandaVision, when something happens in WandaVision and you're like, how does that fit in? And then you start looking up. And then it's just you investigating.
No. But I tried. That's the problem. In Destiny 1, I tried and I got way too lost because it was incredibly convoluted and all over the place and hard to understand. So when I tried in D1 and then eventually it did get a little bit easier over time and the storytelling, even with lore and grimoire, got better. I had given up because I did try. So I just went, I'm just going to play the game because it's fun and try and keep tabs on kind of the general idea of what's going on. And then, like, honestly, the lore did get better, and they did get better at telling that, not only in the game, but also in, like, lore. You know, like, they did get better at that, and it got less convoluted. But, like, I was there from the beginning of D1 trying to figure out grimoire cards and shit, and just got way in over my head and was like, nope, I can't do this.
That's fair. I don't know.
Like,
I've just always,
I get it.
Yeah.
I tried to follow the basic overview, but like, there's so many details that I feel people expect me to know, but like, I couldn't. I gave up on the lore a long time ago, but I probably shouldn't as much anymore. I should be like, I should let myself follow it a little bit more since it's not as convoluted as it used to be. But now, since I haven't been following it, it's incredibly convoluted because there's all these people and places and shit that I don't know about. No, but there's a lot. I'll say now it's less convoluted, but there's just a lot. So it's like a lot to follow and keep up with when I have not been doing so.
I don't think it's I don't know. I don't really think it's a lot. It's just
There's
like,
literally a Byte video for like the history of Destiny for Destiny 1 that's like 3 hours long or something like
that. And I love Byte. I love all his videos. He talks very slow.
He does.
He loves to, it's like very I was gonna say romantic. Not romantic, but it's very soothing to watch a bite video because he likes to talk.
Complete Story of Destiny is 4 hours long.
He loves to enunciate. Yes, but like you got 4 hours of a Lord of the Rings movie, and most of that shit is boring.
All right. How fucking dare you, sir? Dude, how dare you?
You know I'm right.
How dare you?
It's literally like the last 15 minutes of a Lord of the Rings movie is good. That's it.
How dare you? How fucking dare you? Remember when Pippin and Merry were smoking weed?
No. I remember the Ents. Because it's in the extended edition. The Helm's Deep.
Dude.
That's the only battle. And then I remember when she kills the big dude and he's like, no man could kill me. And he's like, I am no man. And I'm like, oh my God, it's the corniest shit I've ever heard.
It is, but you know.
But they're it's okay. It's okay that they're boring. It's okay. It's okay.
How dare you?
It's totally okay.
How dare you? But I don't know. The thing is like when I was trying to follow it, even something like this that is 4 hours long didn't exist. Like, I don't know. It was like people were still having trouble piecing it together because honestly, it was a fucking mess. Like the writer that they had hired like left and just kind of left it all in pieces. Well, like remember it's like I don't know. They eventually hired more writers
stuff in a game. I don't think it would.
Not at the time, no.
No, but I don't think it would be a good game if they tried to put all of that like history in the game. It's mostly that's what the grimoire is. It's just history. It's not what's going on now. It's history. When they talk about Sabbath, or they talk about the Hive, like the Hive gods, and how like they were all female. Like Oryx, and I think Oryx was like female before. Like they were, and just like there's so much. But again, it's just like all history. It's history of the Hive race and stuff like that. I don't think they could have put that in the game and it not fall flat because it's just kind of weird to be like, fair. Oh hey, here's a footnote. Here's a cutscene about like they need what is that even back in the day Jurassic Park. The little it's like, let's talk about dinosaurs. That guy. They need a little slideshow. And it's like, let's talk about the Hive. Well, this Hive went to this. And
guess what other movie I've never seen?
Oh, my God.
I was like, do I let him live thinking that I...
You can never tell anybody to watch anything again.
Wow, damn.
You haven't seen Jurassic Park. The first Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
What have you been doing your whole life?
I don't know, man. Watching Disney Channel when I was younger because my parents didn't let me watch shit.
It's not like
they wouldn't let me play Pokemon.
It's not a bad movie. It's about dinosaurs.
Hey, man. Again, they wouldn't let me play Pokemon because they thought it meant pocket devils, which it doesn't mean. It's pocket monsters. But even then, they would let me play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay.
How the fuck does that make sense?
I'll give little baby Teddy a pass, but like,
it's a lot to catch up on. Okay, like when I got older.
Did you watch one Jurassic Park movie?
No, I have not. I haven't seen it.
No, but I mean, like, it's not a lot to watch one. You only really need to watch the first one.
But like, I prefer playing video games most of the time. So when I do watch a movie, it's usually a newer movie. I don't know. I know that there's a lot to catch up on, but I just haven't. Okay.
This is one thing. You're like, oh, I want to play an MMO and then watch something at the same time, and it's like you can do that now. You can watch Jurassic Park, play Final Fantasy 14.
Everybody would be mad at me because I didn't pay full attention. I usually like watching something that I don't. Like,
Jurassic Park
isn't
some like mystery thriller where it's like, oh, did you see that this happened and then he did this?
You read the code in the background.
It's about fucking dinosaurs that escape a park. Like it's not that big a deal. It really
if it's not that big of a deal, maybe I just don't watch
it. Didn't you go to school for like film?
Video production was not a film major.
That's the same fucking thing.
I was more on the technical side than the creative side. If I was a film major, people would have eaten me alive. Wouldn't you think like
that would be even more fascinating to watch Jurassic Park with, because it was all like animatronic and no CGI? Well, no, there was some CGI, not a lot though.
You're not wrong. No, you're right. I mean, literally, like in college was when I started getting more into movies, but even then, I just didn't end up going back and watching a bunch. And now I just don't have a ton of time. So like, you know,
it's an hour and a half. Jurassic Park. I think same with Matrix. It's an hour and a half.
Hey, you want to know a classic movie that I have seen?
You play Immortals, and that's it.
All Teddy does is play Immortals and watch Avatar.
Yeah, you watch Avatar. You're like, what? I've watched that 11 times.
Yeah.
Again, this is like when I say you don't know what's going to happen to you. Something could happen, and you could go your whole life without watching The Matrix, without watching Jurassic Park.
It's just you want to know a classic movie that I have seen that I feel like you should be proud of me, but you're not. You're gonna be like, well, good. You should have. No, I haven't seen.
You haven't seen the Goonies? Fuck. Is it Back to the Future?
I have seen Back to the Future. Fucking love that movie. That movie's great.
All three.
But I have actually seen all three, but I only saw those like 3 or 4 years ago. But I did see them and they were great. They were fucking great. I honestly love those movies.
Yeah.
They're like, I really like. No.
Oh my god, you should watch The Breakfast Club because you remind me of one of the characters, and then I want you to watch it.
I've heard that movie seems like it's my kind of humor, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
But the no, what was I gonna say? Oh, I feel like this is unpopular because I feel like most people don't like the second Back to the Future a lot from what I've heard. I don't know. Or they don't like it
more than the first
as much. Do they really? I thought I heard the other way. I personally like it more than the first, but only because I watched all three back to back, kind of. And the second one was when I realized, oh shit, this is just a running gag. This whole movie's a running gag from the first one. And I love that shit. I love like taking one joke and beating it into the ground. And when you think they're done with the joke, nope, it's back.
Now the second
I love that shit.
The second one's far superior, I feel. Even just by a story standpoint.
Because
the first one's very similar, I guess.
Yeah.
Or not similar. It's very like, I don't know how to explain it. But like the second one isn't just like a future. I don't know. I love the second movie. Third movie can die in a fire.
Yeah, the third movie I was not a huge fan of, all things considered.
That's okay.
But it's okay.
What classic movie have you seen?
I was going to say Raiders of the Lost Ark. I have seen the first Indiana Jones movie.
The third one's the best.
Interesting.
It has Sean Connery in it.
I haven't seen 2 or 3.
As Indiana Jones' father. It's perfect.
Shit. Oh, shit. Man. How old is Sean Connery?
He's dead. He just died.
Oh, damn.
He died like last month.
Whoops.
I think. Pretty sure like
2020, month. So it must have been like December. December. No, October 31st, 2020.
Oh, wow. Jeez, time is flying.
Yeah, it's fucking February. Which is like gross.
But yeah, I love the last. So if you like Raiders of the Lost Ark, I don't know. I think you'd like The Last Crusade a lot. Like, a lot.
Yeah. I have always honestly wanted to go back and watch the other Indiana Jones
Don't watch
movies.
the fourth one.
I have.
Whatever you do.
See, this is my problem. Everybody always, with certain movies, with Matrix, for example, you're like, just watch the first one. Other ones don't exist.
That's not me.
I've heard.
I say you watch all three.
Oh, interesting. So many people have said, just pretend the second and third one don't exist and watch the first one. But like for me, even though like that and Crystal Skull, for example, which I've heard is terrible, like I can't not. Like I have to. Like I have to know what people are talking about at least, you know?
Watch all three Matrixes, because well, obviously there's a fourth. But like
I haven't seen any of the Mad Max movies.
I've only seen
heard those are really good.
I think I've seen them when I was younger, but I haven't watched them like recently.
I have a friend who really liked the Fury Road one.
What other classic movies? Have you seen The Wizard of Oz?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Long time ago, but yeah.
A Sound of Music?
Yes, but like maybe not all the way through because like
He
my
just died.
mom was
Christopher
watching
Plummer
it, kind
just
of
died.
thing. Oh,
And he was the father in Sound of Music. What about Mary Poppins?
yeah, yeah.
The first one?
I think.
Not the second one. The second one's garbage.
Not Emily Blunt.
I love Emily Blunt, but that movie was garbage.
Damn.
Because fun fact, Mary Poppins, the original, is my favorite Disney movie of all time.
Well,
I don't know why. I think maybe I just like grew up
I
on
was
that.
like it.
Well, I just like yeah. The music in that
That's
one
fair.
is so good, and it was just like so ahead of its time.
I'm trying to think. What's I don't know. There's just a lot of them that I haven't seen.
You haven't seen any of the Mission Impossibles,
other than Fallout.
Have you seen any of the James Bonds?
No.
Any? Not a single James Bond
But
movie.
that's the same thing with me and like Star Trek. Like James Bond seems like such a fucking thing that like when I know that they're all like independent, but I don't know. It's same thing like Final Fantasy. Like there are so many things which are also all independent, but I'm such a completionist.
Games,
yeah. I'm such a completionist kind of person that like if there is a series and I go into it and I like it, I want to know and like I don't want to just watch the one thing. I have a problem with that. I want to like go through all of it, and with some of the stuff it's like not possible. Like Star Trek, I could not. You know,
all the TV shows or all the movies.
The TV shows, like with Doctor Who. I actually like went back and watched some of like the original like Doctor from 1963, some shit.
I think you can. You just have to. It's just again moderation. You don't binge like all of the Next Generation. Or you watch some of it and then you're like, oh, I really like this. Okay, well now I'll like add this into my repertoire of like what I want to watch. This Next Generation is like chef's kiss of Star Trek. Is the best.
Yeah, but James Bond is the same thing where there's just like such a legacy with James Bond that I just didn't. It's like I've just avoided it. I've just not touched it.
You can just like look up best James Bond movies and just go from there.
Yeah.
Or just like watch one of each of their different, one of each different actor. You watch Pierce Brosnan, Sean Connery, Daniel Craig. Forget the other guy.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Not me.
Well, there's people that do.
There's no way to know. There's no way to know.
No way.
No.
What else is there? God.
I don't know, but
you've seen
what
Avatar,
we should talk
the Pocahontas ripoff.
The goddamn blue people.
Pocahontas ripoff.
It is. It is, and I'm just more mad about the fact that like whenever I talk about Avatar, somebody's like, "Oh, the blue people." I'm like, "No, god damn it." The good one. The Avatar movie that has God, and then people do that. And then the Avatar movie that has like fucking 4 sequels being made for the last 20
They're
years.
never going to come out. I don't think they're coming out.
It's so weird. So weird.
They're going to bomb.
I'm at least glad that as a society we've kind of understood how everyone feels about those movies.
Except James Cameron.
Yeah, everyone knows him.
Man, everybody's so excited for these movies, right, guys? Right?
And then there's literally videos of like, there's one video I've seen of a dude going to like a beach, but this was before COVID, where there was a bunch of people and being like, for $1, name me one character from James Cameron's Avatar.
Zoe Saldana. That's all I know.
2 people did it.
I know the actors. I don't know their characters.
One person was like Jake, and it was like, what's their last name? He was like, I don't fucking know. Yeah,
that's right, Jake Sully. Yeah. Oh god,
is it really? I thought it was like Sully.
No, but that's how Zoe Saldana's character says it, because she has the accent of the Navi. Shit, how do I know? I've seen that movie like maybe twice.
Get him, we got him, folks. Oh my god,
that's just so bad.
It was fine. It's a fine movie. When I saw it, I remember being like,
if it wasn't a 3D movie, I don't think it would have had an impact.
No, I mean, the reason why it had such a giant fucking box office is because of the like tech.
Ooh, look at the stuff it's coming. Oh, look at it. Oh,
whoa.
3D. Whoa, now going to a 3D movie is annoying.
Yeah, God. There was a time when like 3D TVs were like trying to be the new thing. I remember going to rent Spy Kids 3, dog, and they literally going to rent it. They gave you 3D glasses at the like rental store.
Oh,
Wild.
Man.
What a time to be alive. But it really is a good time to be alive. You know why? Because there's a new episode of WandaVision. It was good, and we should talk about it because I gotta get out of here. But
we can talk about it.
If you enjoyed the show, you should subscribe on YouTube. If you haven't already, you should tell your friends. Give us an iTunes rating, 5 stars.
Give us a thumbs up.
You know, bake some cookies for a friend and say, hey, this is from Tyson and Teddy Talk. They want to wish you well. You should check out their show.
What if they're bad
on
cookies?
iTunes?
Only
if they're good cookies.
Yeah,
Only if they're good cookies. If you make shitty cookies, throw them away. Yeah. Don't give them to or you can give them to a friend, but say, this is from the people at Kind of Funny.
As you have a t-shirt on and a pillow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I do have. Yeah, that is true. I didn't even realize that. But no, fucking bake some chocolate chip cookies or whatever cookies and give them to a friend and say, hey, you should watch Tyson Teddy Talk on YouTube and on your favorite podcast service. And let us know how it goes. And you can let me know how that goes by tweeting at me at Teddy Chinaris. And also, whenever I'm live, you can tell me about it in the chat on twitch.tv/Teddy Chinaris. Maybe you can post an image about it.
Of giving cookies.
Yeah, post a picture of your cookies and post them to Instagram and tag me at Teddy Chinaris.
This is gone.
Where can people find you, Tyson?
You can find me. Don't send me any of the cookie stuff. You can just send that just to Teddy. You can find me on Twitter at Tyson Pellegrini, Instagram Pellegrini_17, and Twitch T Pellegrini. I've been playing Neo 2. We didn't really get to talk about that, but I might try and stream some of that. It's a good game. I like it.
Hell yeah.
It's like Souls with random gear. So it's very good for builds.
You know, we're about these days. And every day.
What? Souls games?
Random loot.
Oh, random loot, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a looter slasher, but not really. But yeah, it's good. I like it.
Fucking Godfall should have taken some notes, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, God awful. That was that skill up. That was the title of his
Was that
video.
the title?
God, I'm so happy I did not buy that day one. Just dodged a bullet. Dodged a $70
I knew it wasn't
bullet.
going to be good, but I thought it would at least be I thought it would be a little higher than it was. I thought it'd have more of a Metacritic of 75, and I thought
it would have a little bit of legs. It came out. The thing is that it came out same week as Destiny, same week as the PS5, and a lot of other games. So
the marketing was just the telltale sign. I figured it would have a 71, and it has a 61 on Metacritic right now. I didn't expect it to be in 6s. I thought it would at least be somewhat decent to where I could get it on a sale one day and have a good amount of fun.
And
Immortals
there's no,
is
additional content coming, so it's kind of why would I buy it now?
Yeah, yikes.
It's too bad. No, it's good.
But yeah,
I thought the episode of WandaVision was good, except for the end.
You didn't like it?
I have many issues with it that I talked to Stealth with quite a bit. So yeah, episode was good.
I promise you I will not be able to give probably in-depth knowledge because I said, I've only seen a few of those movies and whatnot.
It's still very...
I just don't care as much as other people care.
Yeah.
But
I care a lot, but I just I don't know how they're going to explain this. Yeah. I just don't know how they're going to explain it.
I don't either, but I'm sure there's gonna be a way. But I've heard a lot of people talk about I read in one little article where somebody was this is probably where they're gonna start introducing multiverse stuff, which is probably how they're eventually gonna introduce the X-Men. And I was I don't think so.
No,
because shit's both of those things are far away. Both of those things are not
this,
supposed to be anytime soon. Yeah, X-Men, like Kevin Feige said that X-Men were a long ways away.
This is just I have an issue. Okay, so spoilers. The X-Men Quicksilver from the X-Men universe showed up at Wanda's door. It was like, "Hey sis, blah 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 blah." So I
did love Darcy's line though. That made me very happy.
I do. So it's the same thing I think with her kids. Is I think they are not real. I think her children.
See, that's interesting because literally what I've read, especially about like the comic that this is based on, is that the only thing that is real is the kids and
the people are
for
real.
Some part. Yeah. Sorry, but like, I mean that they. What did they say? That like, I think they mentioned it a little bit in the show too. Something about how like she did create the kids. They're not They're not stolen. They're not stolen kids.
Yeah, they're not kids from that town. Like they're from. They're like.
And that's why there are also no other like.
Children. I sort of have a theory that like.
City.
So I think Mephisto is like in like he's somehow in play in this. Like maybe he started to create this and then I don't know.
What it seems like is someone started it and
then
she wasn't fully aware, but now she is.
But so I think that she's going to lose both her kids, her brother, maybe Vision, and that's going to send her over the edge. It's going to put her into like a villain-esque role, where in the Doctor Strange movie, he's going to have to save her, bring her back. I feel that that's because with the Quicksilver thing.
To end that.
Would it? Cliffhanger?
I think it'd be an interesting like. I mean, when is fucking Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness? That's not even like this year, right? Like
I think it's next year.
Yeah, look at
Infinity War.
Rough way.
Half of the people are gone.
Yeah.
Then a year later, we have to wait a whole year.
Yeah, the only thing is like in between there, the only thing was Captain Marvel, you know. Whereas, dude, I didn't even realize this. This year they're doing it's WandaVision, then fucking Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like after a week break, they come back with Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then it's like Loki, and then Hawkeye, are all supposed to be this year. Like, what the fuck? By the end of this year, we will have had like 3 Marvel shows.
And we
That's
get Black
awesome.
Widow. We get Black Widow,
had
which
no
is still
idea.
a prequel. Still prequel stuff, but
it's crazy. Like I didn't realize. Like that's so weird to think about. Like think about how fast this last year just flew by. Like it's already fucking February.
Well,
right?
It's because we had
by
zero
the end
things
of this year
in last year. So they have
That's
to play
true.
a little bit of catch up.
It's just so crazy to think about.
My biggest issue with Quicksilver is that I love that actor and I love his portrayal of Quicksilver, but those 2 X-Men movies, Days of Future Past, when we first meet him, and then Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix, they're set in the 80s and 90s.
Which is like, that's one thing that I thought was cool is that, you know, he showed up and like a movie that he was in the 80s. And the episode there is the 80s time.
But how does that make sense?
Dude, how does any of it make sense right now?
No, but like, okay, so say he's the real Quicksilver from the multiverse, right?
Sure.
Why wouldn't he be the Quicksilver from it's not in the 80s.
The show was.
The show is.
Like the episode there, yeah.
But why would that make him 80s?
That's a great question.
That doesn't make any sense. Second thing, in the X-Men universe, he does not have a sister. He does not have a twin sister named Wanda.
Yeah.
So why is when he knocks on the door, why is he like, "Hey sis, how's it going?"
Dude, honestly, I genuinely don't know how they're going to do it, but like the way that they led into it with the like where Darcy's literal line of she recast Pietro.
Yeah.
Like,
I hated that.
I was like, dude, but I think that's what they're doing. I think they're just fucking being like, well, here he is. It's this guy now. Okay. I don't know how they're gonna make it make sense, but I genuinely think that's what they're doing. I have no clue how they're gonna make it make sense.
Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna. And it started to make me like worry a little bit. Because like one, if this is how they're going to bridge the, like say if they wanted to bridge the multiverse and bring the X-Men in, then you're bringing like the Sophie Turner, like the young X-Men.
Yeah.
And nobody likes those X-Men. Like the Apocalypse ones. Like nobody cares about those. Like they needed to nuke X-Men.
Yeah, but start fresh. They still are. They still are. I
but how
genuinely
can you have one Quicksilver from the X-Men universe and now recast a different Jean Grey and a different Cyclops?
I don't know, but I genuinely think they're going to do it. I don't know how, but I think they're going to. Like,
that is so fucking confusing. And
yeah, I don't know why exactly everyone was so like wanting this Quicksilver. Also, do you think that is the cameo?
Oh yeah. Oh,
really?
100%.
What a bummer. What a bummer. I mean, that's fair.
See, I loved the cameo, but then I started thinking like, well, then how? Like, I just don't know how they're going to explain it, and what does this mean going forward? Like, I don't want him to stay. I love that Quicksilver.
Get the fuck out of here.
No, but it's just like, because one, it just raises so many questions. His father was Magneto. Her father isn't. Like,
I don't think it's.
He's a mutant. She's not a mutant.
I don't think it's the same character. I honestly don't.
And his name's Peter.
I don't think
his name's not even Pietro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I really genuinely do not think it's the same character. When I said I think that they're doing what Darcy said, I genuinely think that she just recast him. I don't know how that works.
Well, no, this is my thing.
I think it's going to be the same character.
I don't think she did that.
Yeah, I mean, she looks surprised.
I think that's Mephisto, because when the doorbell rang, she's like, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
And I really don't think
whoever is doing that is whoever started it, whoever like is in charge with this, because it's very clear, or I don't think it's very clear, but I think it's I think Wanda is definitely like not just, she's not the only thing, you know, somebody started it and she's not the only one like keeping it going and doing it for her own selfish reasons. There's somebody, I think, ahead of her, or you know, in charge of her in a way. Yeah, somebody pulling the strings. And
but now
whoever
she
that
has
is
Vision back, so she wants to keep this life going. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree with that.
Whoever that is the one who sent this dude. Yeah. So I don't know. So far they haven't given me any reasons not to trust it. Yeah. But that's why. They have a plan. I genuinely feel like they'll do it in a way. I do agree. It's not gonna be the same character. Like, I think Kevin Feige's even talked about how they're not doing that. Like, they're not bringing any of the previous X-Men over, and they are like starting over with that.
And it's like the same with Spider-Man. Like, we're gonna see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. They're not gonna go forward, and they're not gonna be a part of the MCU now. It's like, it's a cameo.
Yeah. So I mean, I will say, if this X-Men, if this Quicksilver is really that Quicksilver, you know what I mean? If that is this character in this show, then no, he's not going forward past the end of season 1 of WandaVision. No way.
Oh, I don't think it's gonna be a season 2.
No, probably
Which is
not.
Weird.
I don't know if they've said, but
yeah.
But he's not. If that is true, and if it is that character, then no, he's not ever going past the show. But I could see a way where he's just Quicksilver now. like I don't know how they do it.
Got killed by Ultron.
Yeah,
it's just so weird.
Man. Vision's alive.
But I don't think that's the thing. Is I don't think he is. I think that's
no.
It's all.
But he will be.
I don't know. Well, I don't know.
I wasn't with you until last week. Last week you convinced me that they were bringing Vision back.
But see, with the kids, it just makes me think that like, because the kids aren't going to be going forward in the movies. You're not just going to have kids that can grow up with a snap of a finger.
They just do it too fast. They're 100 years old.
There was one theory that Stealth had where he's like, he thinks that Wanda has a split personality because when she walks out of the hex, she has her accent back. And I'm like, no, that just makes, to me, that made sense that now she has her accent because she's not in the facade of a TV show.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, why would she have, that'd be weird if she had the accent while she's like in the 50s.
Yeah.
Trying to have the 50s accent of like, well, vision. But then she also has to have the Sokovian accent.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. But I don't know if she has like a split personality. I think she has vision. She has a life that like seems real. And so when she's in there, she wants to keep that going.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say her coming out of the dome of the Hex, like that whole scene was very surprising to me, and what I said I still think is true about how there's somebody pulling the strings and whatnot, but like I don't necessarily know how exactly they're gonna explain it, because she seemed right there was the Wanda that we know that had like seemed fully sound mind for the most part, and like was just terrifying. So like I don't fully know how they're gonna explain that. Like they really did make her out to be hella villain.
People have said that Darcy could be doing it. Not Darcy, Agnes.
Oh, okay.
Because of that one scene where she's like, "Do you want to take that again?"
Yeah. that was fucking unsettling. But I will say, there is one. I wasn't sure about this, but I heard somebody else mention this. I need to go back and check myself. But I'm pretty sure Agnes is the only one that they actually didn't identify as a person.
People have said that, but no, they didn't identify the blonde either.
Well, again, I'm telling you, go back. They hadn't even gotten to that part in the show yet. They had not gotten to that episode, so she wasn't a character. But
also, when she cut her hand was the blood was red. That's
true. It's true.
That's something.
That's the only thing that they haven't actually explained when it comes to the color, because they explained the drone coming in color. They didn't explain why her blood was red, so I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know.
We'll see. I'm excited to see more. I really did like the episode, though. The episode was good. I am kind of bummed with the headline being that there's going to be some Luke Skywalker-esque cameo in Disney Plus.
I think this was better
personally,
than Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, sure. Personally, I just...
nowhere.
Yeah. Personally, as somebody who just doesn't have a huge connection to those movies, or that Quicksilver wasn't as exciting. Like, when they say Luke Skywalker-esque cameo, I was expecting, like, MCU. like someone from like fucking Robert Downey Jr., which wouldn't make literally any sense.
When they showed the gray hair from the back, I was like, is that Steve? I'm like, is that Cap? I'm like, holy shit.
Like, old Cap?
I'm like, it's gonna be old
I thought
Cap.
That for a second. Yeah.
For a second.
And then I was like, no way, they wouldn't do that.
But I'm like, then how did he get in there?
Yeah, I was very confused for a brief second. But yeah, honestly, I was thinking throughout this episode, I mean, they mentioned her at one point. I was thinking like Brie Larson. I was thinking Captain Marvel. Yeah. I mean, Monica Rambeau even says like, I know somebody who would, they mentioned like space or something. She's like, I know somebody that would want to look into that
but no, like
it seemed like she was hinting to her.
When Jimmy mentions Captain Marvel, Monica has like a weird reaction to it.
Yeah. So
that was
I wasn't
a little weird
sure.
To me.
I'm sure they're gonna explain that. I'm sure more stuff happened in the time gap that we don't know. Yeah. But that was interesting that like she seemed bitter.
And that's like her aunt, sort of.
Yeah, but I don't know.
We'll probably get more of that weird. in Secret Invasion with Quake.
Yeah.
Man, if that shit happens, God, then that means that the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is canon. All of it.
But that makes
all of
no
it.
fucking sense. No,
nothing makes sense anymore. We got Quicksilver
but it
from
does.
X-Men.
They just haven't explained it yet. I promise you they will make that make sense. But
they'll make
Quake make sense too, but I don't think they'll make because they
have to.
Like, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. physically cannot be canon.
They can't have this 6-year TV show and then bring a character from that TV show back into the MCU and be like, that wasn't canon.
fucking multiverse, dog.
No, but we have the Phil Coulson from the actual universe.
Yeah, but like they strayed away from canon. There
not
was
really. It was only.
I'm telling you, the snap did not happen. Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest one. There was
all
other
have to
smaller
do is say
things,
that this happened all before the snap. That's all they have to say.
There were dates and shit. I'm pretty sure.
No,
I don't know.
I don't think so. Because I think when the snap was supposed to happen, it was they went to the future. There's a lot of time travel.
I'm telling you,
there's a lot of time travel. So they could just say that this happened all before the snap.
I just searched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. snap, and the first autofill is Reddit. Here's a Reddit post that says, "Did Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. forget about the Thanos snap?" The official word from the writers is Season 6 takes place before Endgame. The climax of Season 5 happens sometimes even further back, and the references to Thanos are saying he's coming more generally than he's coming right now. The real-world reason being they had no idea if they'd air before Endgame or after, so they couldn't reference the snap and had to retcon a few things to make it work. Interesting. I would have to go back and watch because the timing of when they were released would definitely fuck that up.
Yeah. See, I watched it all after.
I'm curious.
But so it's canon.
I remember going to see Infinity War and then like a month or something later watching and being like, nope. Didn't. And then I was like waiting for them to do it. And then I was like, nope, they didn't do it.
It's all before.
But that's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess.
It would be cool because Monica's probably gonna get powers. She's gonna be
she's supposed
to be
Photon
or Polaris.
Yeah.
Then we'll have Polaris,
which apparently
Captain
they
Marvel,
already hinted at
Quake. Those three, man.
Which apparently they already hinted at Monica's powers because of the X-ray not showing anything, and that's supposed to be linked to her powers.
Yeah.
Just closing my blinds very quietly.
I'm excited, but I'm also kind of worried, which is kind of nice.
That's kind of where you want to be, you know?
Like
excited, but a little worried.
Because it's like with Star Wars, I almost don't care.
Oh yeah, no.
And it's just do whatever you want to do. I don't care.
Do whatever the fuck.
But there's so many characters I care about in Marvel that I'm like, oh, what are you doing? But then it's hopeful and it's tension. I love it.
Yeah.
Just give me Quake. Yeah. That's all I want. That's it.
Dude, honestly, as somebody who also, I wouldn't be as excited about you as you, but as somebody who watched all of S.H.I.E.L.D., seeing Quake in the MCU would make me lose my mind.
Dude,
I'm just not entertaining the idea yet because I don't want to get my hopes up.
But, Quake if it does, cool with a TV budget. But man, think about Quake with a movie budget.
She destroyed the world, dog.
Yeah, but after the fact, you saw.
Yeah.
But think about you could see her actually use her powers instead of just push air. That's all she would do. Yeah. But like now she could probably do. Oh man, I'm stoked.
Well, you know, I'm excited for you. I hope you get it. That would, I'd lose my shit too, but I just don't want to think about it. It's kind of the same thing with Charlie Cox in apparently in the next Spider-Man. I don't really want to think about it yet because I know that apparently he literally has already filmed it and it's supposedly filmed, but I don't want to get my hopes up because I don't want them to be crushed, you know. But the moment I see it, I'm gonna lose my mind. But for now,
he's just gonna be a lawyer.
Thinking about it. Yeah, apparently. Which
maybe
it's better than nothing. I'll take it.
Maybe the post-credit scene, you see Spider-Man use the thwip and it catches one of the nunchucks or whatever.
The fucking sticks.
Yeah.
Eskrima sticks.
That would be pretty cool.
Cool.
People would be like,
man,
oh shit.
I've honestly wanted to rewatch Daredevil for a while. I really love that show.
I wanted to rewatch Punisher.
Yeah, it's fair.
Honestly,
season 2 gets a bad rap. Season 2 was really dope.
Yeah. Punisher Blade team up movie. Punisher Blade
apparently
Deadpool
is happening.
Yeah. And hopefully it's rated R like Deadpool. But put the rated R characters together. Don't put Blade with Captain Marvel. Because it's like
put Blade with Spider-Man.
Yeah, like don't put contrast, but not that much of a contrast. Like put all the rated R characters together, and then you can have some cool movies. Like think about Wolverine, like Logan and Deadpool swearing and showing blood, and oh man,
fuck yeah, dude.
I'm stoked.
The MCU is wild that it's a thing that we have in the world. It makes me very happy.
And no sign of ending.
I cannot believe that we're getting 3 fucking shows this year. I might honestly be missing one.
3 shows, like 2 movies? Is Spider-Man this year?
Supposedly. I don't know. I don't think so. I think it might be next year. I don't even want to think about that because that's just too. Oh my god.
Because then we got Shang-Chi?
Yeah.
We got Immortals.
That's like the legit like next phase is them or Eternals.
Eternals,
right?
That's right. Eternals.
Yeah. Immortals: Phoenix Rising, Game of the Year.
Well, Immortals is something else in the MCU, I think too.
Is it?
I think so. Immortals.
Yeah. Oh, wasn't Immortals supposed to be?
Wasn't it a TV show, or is that?
It was supposed to be a TV show, I think, and then got canceled or something along those lines.
But those, I'm pretty sure, are the same characters.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think they have something to do with each other.
Like
Immortals and Eternals. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look it up right now.
But then did you see the God and Thunder leaked photos?
No.
There's photos of Thor and Star-Lord beside each other. Thor is in shape again.
There is a Thor God of Thunder video game that came out for the PS3 and 360, Wii, and Nintendo DS
Love
in
and Thunder,
2011.
Right.
Yeah. But this video game looks dope, you know what I'm saying?
But there's a couple of stills of them on set. Chris Hemsworth has shed the the beer belly, and he has long hair. I'm pretty sure, and it's like him and Star-Lord beside each other. I think that's next year.
Good. See, that's what was weird to me is that Thor went off
with the
Guardians. It was supposed to be the next Guardians movie. I figured would be the next. I honestly figured Thor movies were done, and they were gonna move on with Guardians movies. He was gonna be part of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I was fucking down with that.
The Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, exactly, and like that's dope. And then they announced Thor: Love and Thunder, and I thought that was further out, but I guess it's not.
I think that's probably next year.
I don't know.
But like what I think
is it's supposed to be 2022.
What's her name? Natalie Portman's gonna be Thor. So
Oh, interesting. Okay, maybe that's like passing of the torch there.
Yeah.
It says the Guardians of the Galaxy will be featured in the film with Chris Pratt. Don't know how to say this name, but I assume it's Mantis. Palm Clementieff. Dave Bautista and Karen Gillan reprising their respective roles as Star-Lord, Mantis, Drax, Nebula.
Don't say Rocket? Maybe he's
the fuck's Rocket?
So what I think is I don't think like they're gonna be in it that much at all. I think like they're probably the first maybe.
I mean, they have to be there to make it somewhat make sense.
Half an hour. So, like, hey, this is where we last saw you. And then now Thor goes off and does his own thing.
But I want him to join back with them at the end. Like, I want it to be... Because I do still love the idea of as Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, Guardians 3 is Thor is genuinely part of the crew. Like, I really want that to be a thing. So I can see this being a side quest, passing off the torch to Natalie Portman, and then going back.
But then does he still have the powers? I guess
I'd assume he'd still have some.
He'd have Stormbreaker. He wouldn't have Mjolnir. But like
I don't know. Let's just not think about it. I like this idea. We're going with it. We're going with it.
I'm more excited for Thor.
We'll trust Kevin Feige for it to make sense.
I'm more excited for Natalie Portman as Thor because I love Jane Foster as Thor. That is awesome.
Yeah, that's exciting. I don't know. I'm excited to see more WandaVision stuff too, especially since there's supposed to be 9 episodes total, and we're on episode 5. I think.
Yeah, that was episode 5.
About 4 more.
4 more. That was a 41 episode or a 41-minute episode too.
Yeah, it was longer.
Yeah.
I was watching it before work and was like, I'll fit it in, and then I was like 41 episodes. I was like, fuck.
When I saw that, I was like,
right now.
It's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. But we've been talking for a long time. It's 6:12. I need to walk my dog and get on the road. I will say, while we were sitting here, I checked my Postmates shit. Somebody tipped like $10. So Pog, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Pog indeed.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. All I really need to make this week for budget reasons is like $60. And now I'm up to $49.42. So like literally go out and make like 2 deliveries and come back home.
Or you can make even more and then get the complete edition of Final Fantasy 14.
What I'm going to do is make even more and then spend it on my artist so I could get my art done. But
you could play Final Fantasy 14 for free. So but I'm just saying it's on sale. It's on sale for another week.
Interesting.
You get everything.
Oh God. Is it very World of Warcraft where you do have to buy the expansions along with the sub when you get to it eventually? I mean, that's fair. It's most MMOs at this point.
Well, like let's just
you have to buy. What's the current expansion right now?
Let's close the episode out and then I'll tell you.
All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna get out of here. Have a good fucking week, and tell me how
Super
the
Bowl
cookies went.
Sunday. Go Buccaneers. I don't know. I think that.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna be doing Postmates during that because I bet you I'll make fucking money doing that. Probably. Like I bet you people are gonna be like, I got an email from Postmates. People are gonna be hammered
and just be like, yeah, I'll give you $50.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, bye. Thanks for watching.
Peace.
Like, comment, subscribe.